What's up, winners? I'm Sylvia Chagla, and over a decade or even longer, I have been obsessed with everything around people, around how to develop, how to turn ideas into reality, and this is all based on change and transformation, especially in this digital world. I have been learning, studying, and applying. I was one of the youngest HR consultants for an executive and was leading change projects within the biggest telecommunication merger in Europe. And I am today combining and blending Eastern and Western knowledge in order to help you to change the way the world works so we can all have more efficiency, productivity, and engagement and actually transform and change successfully. I have been doing this for ages and ages by myself, from almost homeless into a successful corporate high flyer, and today I'm excited and passionate entrepreneur supporting leaders and entrepreneurs like you within startups, SMEs, and Fortune 500 companies to create and make the difference they actually crave for. So don't expect any conventional HR and kind of those topics around this, but of course everything what is combined from street smart and book smart and many other things here on this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am excited to go with you on this journey and winx today. Welcome to today's winx today show. I am Sylvia Chagla. I am your host, and I'm excited to talk with you about the 5 secrets for successful change. If you had to change maybe some of your business parts, maybe you've had to pivot in order to start to be able to survive within this global pandemic, or you have to reskill and upskill your people on an ongoing basis in order to be able to face this current market, this is a must watch for you. As a leader, as entrepreneurs, we have to adjust on a regular basis in order to face the market. Right now, I'm coming here to you today from Nice, France, where I am stuck, locked down for almost 8 weeks completely by myself. So thank you so much for bearing with me. The gear and everything what is here is basically with me by surprise. I was in UK running workshops, then the pandemic happened, countries closed the borders, and I ended up here in Nice. I am grateful for the place because it's beautiful. I'm safe and healthy here and have everything what I need. But I have to admit, like probably for many out there, maybe for you as well, this time is different and it is challenging to grow and to start to become stronger and stronger. And today I want to share with you a process, a 5-step secret process that will support you to make any kind of altering within your organization successful. I have been one of the youngest executive consultants and change project leaders within the biggest telecommunication merger in Europe. I was studying change. I have been part of change, and change is basically part of my daily life in order to be able to grow. I'm considering myself as a lifelong learner, so there's on a daily basis something what I implement, what I start to transform, or start to basically skip and eliminate. And this is exactly the same what you might have to do within your business as well, especially when you lead people. I'm talking about the holistic HR. So maybe you have to look at your processes, at your workflows, at any kind of tasks, products, and of course at your team, the way how they are operating. Most of us are currently at home working remotely, not because we want to, but because we have to. And for some, it's possible for some jobs and for some responsibilities, for some others, it's not. So we are having many, many things that require us to change in one or another way. In order to be able to upskill and reskill your people, though, I'm gonna share with you today some foundations about our internal world that is happening within us when we start to change. It's basically something what is happening within us on a biological level. So let's dive into it and let's get started about why we actually have to change in one or another level, in which way this is happening within our body. So whatever is happening outside of us has an impact on our internal world. If we have to, for example, use different tools, maybe we have to work with different people or have to start to actually produce different products and build up a new structure, especially within this time. But even before, like said, reorganization, restructuring, digital transformation, change projects, it's daily business today. 95% of our daily way of thinking, feeling, and doing is unconscious. 5% of our way of being, thinking, and doing is consciously. So in order to start to change, we have to consciously start to make sure that we pay attention to the 95% of our daily doing. So meaning that everything within us is talking with each other on a daily basis, and we have something called the homeostasis that is basically helping your body to keep everything in place and operating and communicating with each other on a perfect level in order to support you to keep the blood sugar, to keep your heart beating, to breathe, to provide oxygen to your cells, etc. So the homeostasis is basically responsible for your whole system, internal system, 24/7 in order to make it harmonize within, no matter what is happening from the outside. Your cells are talking with each other 24/7 as well. And the cells have receptors, meaning that they are used to get one hormone or a few different hormones. Most of the time within this global environment, we are used to stress. We have a global epidemic with stress, so our cells are used to adrenaline and cortisol on most of the times. So if you start to change something and you manage to excite someone about this change, you are most likely then have, of course, a motivated team when you communicate it, when you are able to provide the purpose, when you are able to actually take your team and your organization on a journey towards a vision, then people are getting excited and they are more likely to be able to then have different hormones within them. Most of the time, the dominant happiness hormones are serotonin and endorphins. At the beginning, it's exciting. And once they start to get it ongoing and the change is basically starting to become long lasting, they start to shake. And when they start to shake, means that they have to then start to change as well. This is going to be the point where we start to self-sabotage, where we start to question, where we start to think, is it all worth it? Why would I even have to do it? And the whole hesitation and resistance towards change starts to kick in. So if you start to feel the demotivation within your team, this is most likely where there is the time to basically implement it on a deeper and sustainable level. So what we have to do and start to understand that any kind of change is impacting and requires not only this external adjustment and change, but also internal. I talk about reprogramming your body, retraining your mind, and rewiring your brain. And this is basically something what we often forget within any kind of transformation or change, that no matter how great this evolution of technology is, how great the processes, the workflows, or anything by that matter is, people have to start to elevate as well. So let's get started and let's look into the 5 secrets, the 5 steps that you can apply in order to support your team, in order to support your organization to start to implement sustainable change. First of all, we look at what we want to basically change and provide with this a vision. Now you would probably say, okay, vision, that's super clear. Make it absolutely easy and simple to remember, and make sure that people see and understand what the change is for. Communicate, over communicate over and over again, because we get so much knowledge, so much information, and currently we are maybe challenged due to different circumstances. You don't know what is happening on an individual level. So the vision, in order to be able to go towards this path, is crucial for people to understand why they should actually bother to do this. The second part is to implement micro changes in order to start to trigger the motivation. So we're going to start to make small trigger goals, so people will start to be excited and start to see the reward, and the happiness will kick in. So meaning that the reward within our brain is going up and the threat towards change is going down. Once this is set up and implemented, we go into the third part, and this means to start to improve it and put on another goal towards people have to look to and start to change to. Because once again, once we have to start implemented any kind of change and our self starts to shake, self-sabotage starts to kick in, we then motivate ourselves with another goal, short-term visible goal, that kicks in another excitement, motivation, and therefore hormones, happiness hormones within us. This is the third step. And the fourth step is to get accountability. So whatever you want to change, whoever you want to change, make sure that you pair up people, that maybe you start to create change angels, so they are able to check in with people, be role models, lead by example, and show people that we are all together within this. Maybe short check-ins on a regular basis, maybe even on daily basis, depending what is happening, might be great within this remote work time. 15 minutes FaceTime, so video calls, in order to be able to check in and see how we are all keeping each other accountable within it. And the fifth part is prepare for challenges. Life will happen. Maybe there will some challenges come up for each and every single individual, or for the whole reorganization, restructuring. Create the plan how to create a workaround in order to make sure that we will not fall off the transformation train. I hope this makes sense. It was a really short and quick and hopefully supportive. Once again, thank you so much for bearing with me for the gear, for the beginning. I am here alone for almost 8 weeks, but this community work and this community serving is something what gives me so much life and what supports me on a daily basis and makes me actually super happy to support others around the world within this digital age. Markus Haas, the CEO in Germany from Telefonica or O2, you might know the brand, he shared a few weeks ago that digitalization is freedom. And I absolutely love it and agree with that. So we might have to now work remotely, but if we understand how this impacts us, what the change means on an individual internal level, what we want to change externally on a processes, workflows, work setups, organizational setups, etc., you're gonna be able to transform not only within challenging times, but also within any other times, because people have to go with you. There is no digital transformation and no change within your organization unless the people will change as well. The company culture is key for any kind of success, any kind of sustainable way of being on the market. And I hope that this 5-step secrets will support you. So let's shortly wrap up and repeat those 5 steps. First of all, vision of the change. It can be one small change and a vision towards this so people understand why. 2, create some short-term trigger goals to see the success very fast and get motivated. Third part, implement new goals to improve the situation and support people to get excited again. Third part is create accountability partners, any kind of accountability for people, for teams, for your organization when they have to start to change, so it will happen together. And 5, the last step is to make sure that you have any kind of workarounds for setbacks, because this will happen. So you basically start to go for not only a sustainable change within your business, but you also support your entire organization to change sustainably. And this is what your company culture will empower to face any kind of change. Please take whatever resonates with you, skip whatever doesn't, and join me on this journey to winx today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please let me know what you would like me to talk about. If you have any questions when it comes to remote work, leadership, business, any kind of holistic HR topics, please go to winx.today, share your question anonymously there, let me know, and I am happy to provide an aid to your queue. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was insightful, informative, or inspiring. I would love to hear your number one takeaway. Come on over to winx.today and share it in the comments below. You can also provide any kind of question around remote work solutions, business and leadership growth, as well as holistic HR topics. I look forward to provide an aid to your queue. Stay tuned, winner, and don't forget, we can win X today.